Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Belgium, the MXGP of Belgium, in fact, here at Lommel, round 14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship with me, Paul Nalin, and alongside me, Jason Thomas from Fly Racing. We've seen some fantastic action out on track. MX2 has just come to an end. MXGP Race 2 up next. 30 minutes plus 2 laps at the notoriously deep circuit of Lommel. It's deep, it's sandy, it's treacherous, it's warm, and it's rough. It's going to be a tough one here in MXGP Race 2. We will see the highlights from the first race shortly, but we'll bring Jason in a moment. But some of the scenery here from the local area here in Lommel, in the Limburg region, just south of the Dutch border. Great crowd in here today. We won't spoil it by giving you any results for what happened in MX2, but look at the circuit there. Looks nice and flat. But yeah, 27 degrees.
I think get out there on the track, it's going to look anything but flat. But yeah, excited to be here. Incredible track. I've been thoroughly impressed throughout the whole weekend.
Just in case you were any doubt, the type of soil here is sand.
Yeah, and we're going to see a bit of that.
And look at some of the lines. Not all of the jumps will get fixed here. Just the ones, the tabletops and things like that. But you'll see how tough it can be with the highlights from MXGP Race 1 coming up next. Watch for the number 99, Max Anstie. He will be coming into shot any moment now towards the back. There, he went down hard. He was the guy who won the qualifying race on Saturday. He did not do any more laps after that. The foxhole shot went to Glenn Koldenoff for the second time on the standing construct KTM. But before turn 3, Roman Febvre was through on his Yamaha, and Gajser quickly followed through, Jason.
Yeah, quick moves from Gajser here. He actually gets to the front, going past Febvre here. You wondered if these two were going to get in a battle. Never really shaped up too much, but they were definitely the class of the field.
But before the start of lap 2, there was Anstie going out and holding his shoulder. We'll hear from him in a moment, but Febvre breezed by Gajser at the end of pit lane and moved into the lead on lap 2. And it was 26, 27 degrees out there on track. Jeremy Seewer got alongside the number 4 of Arno Tonis. That put him up into 4th place on lap 3. And these two then, with Jonas, started banging bars as well. Jasikonis, I think, got caught up in that action with Anstie on the first turn, so he fought his way through to an eventual 8th place behind his teammate, Paul Jonas. Paulin, we'll talk about that situation in a moment, but Van Horebeek made light work of him as he charged his way through into 7th and eventually into 6th place. Jasikonis also found a way through. But Tonis and Jonas went at it in the latter stages of the race. One passed the other, got passed back. But in the end, the advantage went to Arno Tonis, who breezed by again into 5th. Van Horebeek got to 6th with this pass. Bit close on Jonas. But in the end, Roman Febvre cruising to victory and all of a sudden went off the side of the track.
Yeah, he had some close moments. We see how everybody had some close moments here. Good ride from Koldenoff. See Seewer come through. It's kind of spread out towards the back here, and see Febvre cruising to the win.
Yeah, his 3rd race win of the year, Roman Febvre. Gajser 2nd, Koldenoff, Seewer, and Tonis your top 5. Right, let's go down to Lisa. She caught up with Kevin Strybos, JWR Yamaha, but before that, Max Anstie, the guy who crashed at turn 1 on the standing construct KTM.
So guys, we're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2. But as always, I want to catch up with a couple of the guys. The first being Max Anstie. Max, I don't know what to say really, because you won the qualifying race. Clearly, you're amazing around this track. You've got a good feel for it, but it's just, you can't catch a break at the moment. Firstly, what happened in that first race, and are you okay?
Yeah, it was right. I got about 200 yards, and then that was it. My race was over. So no, it was a shame. I clipped some guys going in. I had Gajser to one side and me Seewer to the other, and we sort of all hit each other, and I just ended up getting the short straw with that one, and I ended up going down and landed on my shoulder quite bad, and then smacked my head on the floor, and then got run over by someone. So yeah, it was a bit of a bummer, because you know I feel like this was a good day for me, but it's the way it goes. You know, I've just got to refocus on now second race. You know, I've done a bit of work on my shoulder, taken a few paracetamols and ibuprofens, and I'm good to go.
Your shoulder's okay then?
Well, we're going to see in a minute. I mean, I haven't done a lot, but we're going to see in a minute when I get out there and start riding.
Oh, Max, best of luck for the second race. Thank you. Okay, the next rider I'd like to speak to is home rider Kevin Strybus, just to catch up with him, really. Kevin, firstly, just tell us how your season's been going so far.
It's not the best season at the moment. I struggled a bit, and also speed-wise, so it's not easy, you know, but I just try to keep the fun in it, even if sometimes it's quite difficult, but especially here in Lommel, you know, track's really heavy, and first moto I got a good start. I think I was 6 or 7, and then I faded back to 12 or 13, and not so happy with that, but yeah, still try to enjoy it.
But of course, yeah, it is your home GP. You've got all your fans behind you. Do you feel the energy from the fans as you're going around track?
Yeah, sure, you know. I think if you got a good start, it's really nice that the fans are there, you know, and even in bad moments when it's really hard to go, you know, they keep on going, and then you also keep on going, so it's nice.
And finally, Motocross of Nations selection. You've been selected Team Belgium. It was announced yesterday. Something to look forward to as well, and something to focus on at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure, you know. Hopefully that will be the highlight of my season. I try to work towards there, and yeah, hopefully we can get on the podium. I think we have still a good team, and it's a sand track, so who knows.
Have a good second race. Thanks, Kevin. Good luck to all the guys. So it's time for MXGP Race 2.
Here's how the top 5 look in the championship after race 1 then. Tim Gajser moves to 604 points. He's now 181 clear of Jeremy Seewer. Paulan, 32 points back now. He lost ground on Seewer. And then Tonus just 2 behind his teammate as they battle over 4th. Cairoli 5th, but that will be gone soon. The next couple of rounds, you would think. MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps here from the MXGP of Belgium at Lommel. My name's Paul Malin, alongside me, Jason Thomas from Fly Racing. Max Anstie goes to the line first, having won his first qualifying race since the final round of 2017 at Pays Montbéliard, Villars-sous-Écot. Tim Gajser second, third Romain Febvre, fourth Tonus, Van Horebeek, Jasikonis, Seewer and Simpson. Jason Thomas, Max Anstie, he won that qualifying race yesterday. We just saw from the highlights a moment ago. He took a hard hit going into first turn in race 1. It's going to be interesting to see how much that's going to impact him, because someone said to me, shoulder popped out, then went back in. I spoke to the team boss, Tim Matthijs, and he said, you know, that the standing construct KTM rider is just a bruised shoulder, nothing more than that. We spoke to him there, and he seems upbeat and buoyant, but man, he's lost some serious track time after not going out in race 1. 16 laps, in fact.
Well, he's going to find out quickly. Fortunately, he still has that great gate pick from his qualifying race yesterday. Biggest thing, he's just got to get through the first turn and get out there and find the pace. He's been riding well all weekend, but yeah, flying through the first turn is not the way you want to start your day.
Should we be concerned about Romain Febvre? Because after the race, he spoke to Lisa Leyland, and he looked pretty spent. He didn't look like he could barely speak.
He was exhausted. So yeah, it's been, I'm sure, all hands on deck trying to get him recovered and back to strength for this moto. I think he'll be good, at least for halfway. But then once he has to tap into those energy reserves, we'll see. I don't think he could even answer it at this point.
Well, Tonus here, Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha, just a couple of points behind his teammate Gauthier Paulan going into race 2. Paulan on 391, Tonus on 389. Are we going to see a change in the top 3 positions today? Jeremy Van Horebeek, Honda SR Motor Blues, started outside of the top 10, came home in 6th. For not bad for the satellite rider, the private Honda rider.
He's been riding well all weekend. He thought maybe he was going to climb up even further than that, but I think he senses an opportunity for a strong overall finish here.
And we just saw Gauthier Paulan there, the second of the Wilvo boys, and spoke to Louis. Voster's a team owner of that squad, and he said it's strange because with Arno, he was sick after Indonesia, and he was still sick going into Lockett, Czech Republic, a week ago. Wasn't really expecting anything, and it was he that put up the fight to come home in 5th place. Whereas Gauthier Paulan, from Wednesday this week, he's been feeling sick as well. Just no energy, drained, and couldn't really offer up any more. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes. The Fly Racing 15-second board has gone up. There's Tano Leok, number 7, over on the far right gate. So it's going to be quite tight through that high-speed right-hander. But hopefully everybody gets through here, all safe and sound and clean at the first time of Eskin. 20 minutes plus 2 laps. MXGP Race 2, round 14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship in Belgium and Lommel. And riders up on the bank, and well, one or two people will be taking a look at that, but everybody through, no matter what. But it's Gajser who leads coming into the third turn. Van Horebeek there in second. Both the standing constructs are there. Anstie fourth. His teammate Koldenhoff in third. And was Simpson up there as well in blue? No, it's the 270, I think. Was it 270? Ooh, difficult to see.
Good start for Anstie. Let's see what he's got.
226. So Koch.
Shoulder seems to be answering the bell right now, which is a good sign.
Tom Koch there in blue for Saarholz. Great start for the German, but just behind him, the number 4 of Arno Tonis in black. But it's Gajser. Oh, heavy landing there. You know what he was trying to do, just land on the downside of that hole, but just a little bit too long.
A little bit too much there.
There's Jonas. There's Febvre. Febvre buried mid-pack in around about 10th place. So he's got some serious work to do, and he was already feeling the effects of a hard ride in Moto number 1, and also the fact that he lost his rhythm as well, he said, didn't he, at the end of the race, and that cost him, and he lost his concentration and made it very, very difficult in the latter stages.
He was absolutely exhausted. He really needed to nail this start to make life easy for himself, and now he's going to have to fight the entire moto. So
Anstie picking himself up off the floor in turn 1, didn't turn a lap at all. He's 16 laps behind the 8-ball, if you like, but here he is going after Tim Gajser. Felt great in qualifying yesterday, looked fantastic as well. Can he put it together and pick up 25 points? If anyone deserves it, it's Anstie.
Well, you think about it, he should have the most energy of anybody in this race. He did not race the first moto at all. You know, he's just racing to try to get the moto win. He's probably going to go flat out here, and Gajser won't have to worry about him for the overall finish. So everything's setting up for him to get a moto win.
Not easy, though, is it, on a circuit that's deteriorated since he went out, because we've had another MX2 race in between all of that. Obviously, Gajser tripling his way there, and Anstie couldn't. But it's Gajser who leads. Anstie second, Van Horebeek third, Koldenhoff 4, Jonas 5, Tonis 6, Febvre 7, Monticelli 8, Jasikonis 9, Siwa 10, Koch down to 11, Simpson 12, Bogut, Strybos, Brilikov, Tixier, De Wolf, Paulin, Van Berkel and Leo. Parts of this racetrack pretty open, but parts like this look just completely brutal.
Febvre comes through there. He's got some time to make up. We'll keep an eye on his lap time to see if he can close the gap. Like we said, not the start he needed here.
Well, here's Siwa just behind Monticelli and Jasikonis. Jasikonis going after Roman Febvre. Jasikonis actually surprised a lot of people in the free practice and time practice yesterday. A mistake there from Siwa, and obviously faltered in the qualifying race, had some work to do coming through the pack. Eventually came home in 6th. A lot of people thought if he had a good start in both races, he would be challenging for a podium at least.
He just cannot get the start. He reminds me of Geertz. Speed's there, technique's there, but the starts, you know, put him in such a bad position, it's impossible to regroup from there.
So one or two people moving up and down the leaderboard. Jasikonis and Siwa and Simpson have moved past Monticelli and Koch. So where is Simpson? Over there on the, just behind him in the background, I believe. Here's Siwa, just a little bit loose. And the Monster Energy Yamaha rider there, number 91, going after Ivo Monticelli on that standing construct KTM, but it's his teammate Max Anstie who is in second position, 1.4 off of the leader, Tim Gajser, who sets the fastest lap on that opening lap, 1:58.9. Fair play, though, to Anstie, a 1:59.1, only 2 tenths in it. And he doesn't look affected by the crash at all.
No, you know he wants this bad. Really the same situation as yesterday's qualifying race. Anstie stalking Gajser. And for Gajser, if you're looking at the situation, he's not in play for the overall win. He's not in play for the championship standings. So really, if Anstie's going to put in a performance like yesterday, who cares? So we'll see how this plays out, but I like Anstie's chances here.
Yeah, Arno Tonis has gone down. He was in 7th position. He's now dropping down the leaderboard pretty rapidly. But Tim Gajser knows he can win the Grand Prix from this position, even if Anstie goes through. So are we going to see a late charge or an early one from Anstie here as he goes after the lead here? But plenty of time left, 25.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. MXGP Race 2. And it's Gajser, Anstie, Van Horebeek, Koldenhoff and Jonas. You see the other side of the hill there, how those lines are really starting to develop. Gajser pre-jumping from 2/3 of the way up on the upslope there. not a difficult technique, but when you're aiming for a braking bump or a landing zone that is effectively another, you know, that light section at the bottom of that jump there, not easy to do, Jason Thomas.
Well, it's blind there too, right? So he's completely trusting his own timing. Can't see the landing as he's leaving the top. So, yeah, I mean, it's an expert move, but we're talking about a world champion here too.
Yeah. Tim Gajser continues to lead. Anstie is second. Here is Jeremy Seewer. He's in 8th place. So Tonus is in 20th position, having lost 13 places. And Jasikonis or Jonas, I think. Just got a quick glimpse. Oh, it's Jonas trying to get it into neutral, trying to use the electric start, and just frustrating for the former MX2 world champion. And with conditions hot like that, just stalled on the downside of that corner just before pit lane. And his teammate slips up the inside of him. So too, Febvre went around the outside and Seewer at the inside. So a couple of riders just making mistakes here. Oh no, Tonus, that's going to cost him a possible podium as well. He's now into 19th place. So we'll do all the podium math a little bit, but Seewer getting the distance over that gap there and going after Jasikonis. Jasikonis crashed in the wave section earlier on in free warm-up this morning.
Your two leaders in the 158s.
Anstie the fastest by 0.03 of a second. So Anstie setting the fastest lap of the race so far in race 2. Who would have thought that when we saw him go down hard in race 1? So Gajser leads. A little bit further back, Brian Boger's in 9th. He's just found a way by Simpson. But look at Anstie here. His charge is definitely real. So the standing construct rider showing what he's made of, really. Because that was a high-speed first turn crash. He went down hard as well. And as he said, he got ran over as well, landed hard on the shoulder. But here he is challenging Gajser for the race win, not the overall, of course. Just under 23 minutes plus 2 laps to go here. MXGP Race 2, the MXGP of Belgium, round 14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Max Anstie here in 2nd position, standing construct KTM, going after Tim Gajser. The gap between them, 1.2 seconds. Anstie picked himself up off the deck in turn 1 to not even turn a lap. And here he is with little or no track knowledge. It's a good job he knows his place, though, because he lives only 10 minutes from here. But a challenge for the lead here between the KTM and the Honda rider. Gajser, the championship leader, 124 points clear of Jeremy Seewer coming into this one, so he's going to open that gap up even more so. Sorry, 181 points clear.
You wonder how willing Gajser will be to force the issue here. He really has no reason to race Anstie hard other than just pride of winning the moto. He can see that there's no one behind them. Anstie's obviously out for the overall, so other than just wanting the moto win, if Anstie's willing to go into a place that Gajser's not comfortable, I could totally see him letting it go.
I mean, track conditions are not even at their worst. We've got 20 more minutes in which to see them at their absolute worst, but these guys making it look so easy. Anstie probably looks more efficient, though. And he looks to go around the outside, and a big swap there from Gajser, but Anstie was already through. So Anstie leads on lap 4. There is a heavy British contingent travelled here this weekend. He has 3 Grand Prix victories around this circuit in MX2, but after his qualifying race win yesterday, we seriously thought that he was going to be the main challenger for the top step this weekend, and the only rider to go 4 wins. But here's how he did it. Good move around the outside. He got the drive, and then Gajser had a bit of a moment.
I'm interested to see here if Anstie can do exactly what he did yesterday. He's going to put in his fastest laps of the race right here and try to break the spirit of Gajser. If he does, it'll virtually be over at that point. So look for Anstie to put in everything he has, every ounce of speed he has in the next 2 laps.
And I know you said Anstie is fresh because he didn't do a lap in race 1. He's 16 laps advantage in that respect. But when you go down and you're hard and you're beat up, there's a disadvantage there as well, isn't there, in some respects?
Yeah, I think with him being back out in the lead, though, it's pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
I don't think he's feeling any ill effects. Maybe tomorrow, he'll be sore, but right now it's all about this win.
So Anstie leads. He's almost 2 seconds clear of Gajser. That's them coming in the opposite direction. Van Horebeek on the Honda SR Motor Blues machine is in third, and he's 3 points shy of the podium. Koldenhoff is behind him in fourth, Febvre fifth, Jessica is sixth, Siwa, Monticelli, Bogas, and Simpson are next. But Gauthier Paulin losing positions to his teammate as well. So Paulin now 16th, Tonus 15th, and a fastest first sector of the race for Anstie. Turns the screens purple. Good ride, though, for Febvre. He's now up into fifth. Look, he's the third rider in shot, but we saw how much work he put in and how much it cost him physically at the end of the first race when he spoke to Lisa. But he's having to work hard here. He wants to win the GP, but he knows he's also got to find his way onto the rear wheel of Gajser, but he's already 15 seconds down on the championship leader. Full factory Honda of Tim Gajser in second, the satellite Honda here of Van Horebeek in third. In these kind of conditions, that's pretty impressive, Jason Thomas.
Yeah, it is, and this is, Van Horebeek's home race. He obviously wants to do well. I would assume the crowd is cheering him on right now, and yeah, I mean, they're racing for pride. None of these three are super close in the points for the overall, but hey, these guys are racers above all else, and they practice together here quite a bit, I'm sure, so yeah, they want to beat each other.
Romain Febvre looking to get on terms with Koldenhoff. If you were to put the flag out now, Gajser would win the GP on 44 points, 2 lots of second places. Febvre would be second on 41. He can still win this, He can still win it. He's got a first and a fifth right now. So a couple more positions and he's there. So it's not over for Febvre. He knows that. The crew know that as well. Koldenhoff will be third as it stands right now, but if Febvre goes through, might hand an advantage to Jeremy Van Horebeek, who's just off the podium. But look at the danger man in the background, number 27, Arminas Jessiconis, a 2:02, 1 second quicker than Febvre, and he could be there to spoil the party. Febvre going after back-to-back wins, of course. Victorious a week ago in Lockett, Czech Republic. His first win in 3 years and 2 months.
Keep in mind, we're not even halfway yet.
No.
So these guys are, they're trying hard, but you're going to wonder how much they can sustain this over the next 18 minutes.
Well, the amount of movement that these bikes are, giving off, the way they are dancing, they'll all be auditioning for the next series of Strictly Come Dancing or Dancing with the Stars in the off-season, because they're proper waltzing their way around with these 100-kilo motorcycles.
And mistakes are just so prevalent. Jessiconis just gave away over a full second that first sector. So it's going to be mistake management and who can, conserve the most energy, because they're going to need it.
Well, the good thing is the sun has disappeared behind the clouds, so that's going to offer them a little bit of respite. But with 17 to go, Romain Febvre still looking like he's in a hurry to make his way up to the front to win the GP. Koldenhoff tried to make a move around the outside of Van Horebeek, the Belgian, giving the fans what they want here. He is the lead Belgian in this race. He's in third position on that Honda SR Motor Blues machine, a completely pretty much stock Honda. And he's got a semi-factory KTM behind him in the form of standing contracts, Glenn Koldenhoff. But these guys here wrestling in 2:04s, 2:03 lap times. Anstie, your race leader, a 2 minute that time around on lap 6. Gajser, a 2:02.9. And a mistake there from Koldenhoff. He looked across helplessly, but Febvre wasn't able to find a way through up the inside. He cuts back to the left here on his Yamaha. And it's going to be a drag race towards the Monster Energy finish line, but Koldenhoff just hanging on to fourth place. So Anstie, Gajser, Van Horebeek, Koldenhoff, Febvre, your top 5. This was a moment ago. Thought about dropping it over the top of the Honda, but Van Horebeek wasn't having any of it. Now Febvre looking ready to go again. He's recovered well after having nothing left in the tank in race 1, Jason.
Yeah, he is. He's really made life hard on himself this moto. The first moto really was just between he and Gajser, but he's been eating sand for going on 15 minutes, and I don't think it's going to get any better, because once he gets around Koldenhoff, if he can, then he's going to have to deal with Van Horebeek before he can even worry about Gajser.
Yeah, he won't be wanting any more sandwiches, that's for sure. This week, just looking for something a little bit different. 15 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. And still, the battle for third goes on here. Van Horebeek, Koldenhoff and Fevre. I wonder how much Fevre has if he can find his way past either of these two.
Yeah, that's the big question. Again.
Problem with that Husky, keeps stalling, and frustrating for Jonas once more. 14, well, just 15 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Jeremy Van Horebeek here in third on that Honda SR Moto Blues, the privateer Honda, holding off the factory bikes of 259 Glenn Koldenhoff on the standing construct KTM and the Monster Energy Yamaha of Romain Fevre. Fevre needs to find his way past these 2 riders ahead of him if he is to have any chance of winning the overall here. He's 4 points down, 3 points down on Gajser. And the guy, and the way the points work, 25 for a win, 22 for second, 20, 18, 16, 15. And so he'll pass Koldenhoff here, he'll pick up 2 points. Pass Van Horebeek, picks up 2 points. He'll win the GP by a point. Jason Thomas, Romain Fevre looking a little bit impatient.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He's been stuck back here for much longer than he wants to, and really hasn't even been able to show a wheel yet, which is the most frustrating part. And you can see Van Horebeek pulling away there in the distance.
And the thing is, obviously, this not doing him any good in terms of energy reserves. We saw how spent he was after race 1. Having to work this hard in the, the first half of the race is going to be costly on him again. Back mark is in between Van Horebeek and Koldenhoff. Koldenhoff just losing the toe to the Belgian now.
Fevre makes a mistake in the background there and lost even more ground. Jessiconis is coming back up, so that's just the ebb and flow of this racetrack. There's so many mistakes, as we said, and just because you turn in one good lap has nothing to do with the next lap, and these leads, kind of grow and shrink with the mistakes.
Koldenhoff on course for a first podium of the season, got 4th overall a couple of rounds ago in Semarang, Asia. And here is the 259 on the standing construct. He has 38 points, but he can't afford any mistakes. Here's Gajser. Oh, he currently leads the Grand Prix at the moment as the bike goes from left to right, right to left. He's on 44 with 2 seconds. But an impressive performance here. Max Anstie, number 99 on the lead standing construct KTM. He went down hard at turn 1. He's picked himself up, having not completed a lap in that first race. And here he is, 9.5 seconds. It'll probably go to more than 10 seconds. And you can just see how fluid, how efficient he is. And he should have been looking at a 4th Grand Prix victory around this Lommel circuit. A first in MXGP to add to the 3 in MX2.
Yeah, it's what could have been. But he's doing everything he can control at this point. He's probably not feeling the best with that shoulder, but kudos to him. He's riding excellently.
Fevre has found his way past Jessiconis has found his way past Fevre. So Fevre, all of a sudden, that overall win is slipping away from him. And I wonder, and it goes back down to fitness and having to work that hard after what he put in race 1.
Yeah, you could see it in his face after the first moto. You wondered how this moto was going to go. He's still got some time, 12 minutes left, but not a good sign to have lost another spot to Jessiconis here.
So it's going to be another point down. Needs a few more passes now, but as you say, 12 minutes plus 2 to go. There is still time for other people to fade ahead of him as well. That's what he'll be hoping for now. Either that or he's going to need a big spade, because he's going to have to start digging seriously deep.
Yeah, you watch the body language here. You saw him take a quick look back, which is never a good sign. I just have to wonder how his energy levels are, with a little bit past halfway here.
The Honda guys there just questioning, all right, so if Gajser stays there and Fevre stays there, we win the GP, yes. So Fevre got a serious amount of work to do. Anstie is, he almost lost a second there to Gajser on lap 8. 2:03.9, Gajser 2:03.0. So is Gajser going after the race win here? He looks fairly calm and relaxed, doesn't he? But just talk about the efficiency of these guys in these conditions, Jason. What are we watching that's commonplace? The things that they're doing well and the way to right sand.
Well, they're just trying to never slow down, right? They would prefer to never touch the brakes. They want to catch the positive side of every bump and really work with the track. Trust me, if you try to fight this track, the track's going to win every time. So it's all about momentum and, energy conservation, because it's 35 minutes. I mean, it's as brutal as it gets out there.
Some riders make it look very easy, but Jasikonis, he's got second wind on that Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. There he is in number 27. Febvre trying to go with him on his Monster Energy Yamaha, but the next rider in his line of sight is the 259, Glenn Coldenhoff, on the standing construct, coming towards us now on that KTM. Van Horebeek has slipped away just momentarily on the number 89 Honda SR Moto Blues machine. It's not going to be good enough for a podium for the Belgian, but Jasikonis might have something to say about that, because he could do, Van Horebeek could do with Jasikonis finding a way through. Won't be enough. He needs two guys to go through on him.
Nice to see Jasikonis up front. He was the man in qualifying your free practice yesterday as well, and really this is the first time he's been relevant in the moto, so he's got some pace here.
Of course, all of these guys know this place like the back of their hand. You know, a lot of the teams are based around here. The workshop's just the other side of the trees there for some of them, and they do more of their laps here during the winter than probably anywhere else, and even during the summer. You know, it's almost like everything is geared for this one. You talk Formula One and Monaco, everybody wants to win that one. Why? Because it's a street circuit, has history. This place is a relatively short history, only going back since '91. We've only ever had 23 winners, I believe, and but the nature of the ground and how tough this one is. If you win this one, it's a nice little notch on the bedpost, if you like, and a nice little feather in the cap.
Yeah, a lot of people made mention of that. You know, Sean Simpson said he had this race circled on the calendar for quite a while. Yeah, this is a man's race. Everyone knows if you win Lommel, then you're fit and you're prepared, and that carries a lot of weight. So, yeah, Gajser's going to be the man. And honestly, I didn't expect him to win here. I just don't, you know, necessarily consider this his track. He's never won here before, but he's getting it done.
And I was also the same, but as I say, there's still plenty of time to go. But with 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Anstie continues to lead, but it's Gajser who's on control, or in control, for the overall. So Anstie over the line, 10 laps in the books. We're waiting for Gajser to come through. Here is Anstie, a 202.3, Gajser a 203 or a 204, 206.5. So that gap going out to almost 13 seconds. So Anstie looking good for a race win, at the very least. 7-8 minutes to go. Max Anstie is, he looks fresh, probably because he is fresh.
He is fresh, yeah. He's making it look easy, though. He's just doing all the right things. And really, if you're going fast in the sand, it does look effortless.
Jasikonis around the outside. That's what we didn't see before. Out-drags Febvre towards the end of the straight, and then I guess he just runs it down the inside. So good aggressive riding that from Jasikonis. In fact, Febvre's found his way back past, hasn't he?
Yeah, 203 the last lap, so.
No. Is that Anstie? Anstie has thrown it away. That's coming through turn 3 and turn 4. He's already gone down on his shoulder, but 25 points are going to go big, and then this is going to help Gajser massively. And already he looks like he's going to struggle to get back into the rhythm here. Does Max Anstie. So Anstie then, all of a sudden under attack from Van Horebeek. So this is going to shake the podium up a little bit. It might even mean that Van Horebeek gets on the podium here. And Van Horebeek going after Anstie here. Oh, and Anstie gets run wide as he tries to regroup and refocus. He would have knocked the wind out of his sails a little bit. And look at Van Horebeek around the outside, doing everything he can to pick up another position here. Good stuff from the Belgian, Jason.
Well, I love to see Anstie fight back. He had a 12-second advantage. He goes down there. But hey, this thing's not over yet. If Anstie can find a rhythm, I don't think the Gajser has a lot of fight left, nor wants to. But man, if he does end up not being able to get Gajser, that's a tough break. So
just under 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go here. MXGP race 2, the MXGP of Belgium. Gajser now leads by 6.3 seconds over Anstie. Anstie threw it away a lap ago at the end of the long straight, coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, through that little chicane. We didn't see the crash. We just saw him picking himself up. And Gajser has turned a 12-second or thereabouts deficit into a 6.3-second advantage. Not helped because of the I guess the impact of the crash, but then at the same time, Jason Thomas from Fly Racing having to try and refocus. He picked himself up just in front of Van Horebeek, and Van Horebeek was all over the back of him immediately.
Great response, though. I love to see that fight back, and I don't think this is quite over yet. I think if he can drop those lap times back down, I think we can still see a race here before this is over.
Yeah, 5 minutes plus 2 to go. Gajser would take the overall 47 points instead of the 44 now, with a second and a first, 22 and 25. Fevre would move to second, or would stay on second on 41 with a win and a 5th place, so he wasn't able to capitalize. And then Koldenhoff is on the podium in 3rd on 38, Van Horebeek on 35, and Seewer is going to round out the top 5. But as you can see, those ruts are getting deep. Foot pegs are going to start dragging on there soon if they're not picking up the front wheel on the run up to them. But the taller ones, you know, the riders then have to be in a position where they can back it down. But here's Koldenhoff going after Van Horebeek. That'll give him another couple of points. Fevre going with him as well. But Fevre can't win this now because he needed Gajser to be there in second and Anstie winning potentially if he was going to get 2 more positions, these guys here for instance. But Van Horebeek makes a mistake, and Fevre just there in the background sees it. Koldenhoff goes by the Honda rider, who now looks like he's thrown in the towel as well. The head is gone, the shoulders are gone, the posture, oh, and he just tips over, and Van Horebeek just climbs himself back on that Honda, but he loses a position or 3.
You can almost see that coming. Yeah, telltale sign there, just like you said. Got out of form, wasn't entering the turns in the right position, and
needs to be up on a pegs
quickly.
So Van Horebeek then he's put everything into this race. He wanted to give the home fans something to be proud about and cheer about, but there's Gajser over there. Here's Van Horebeek here. And just looking like he's having to slug this one out. So Gajser leads, Anstie second, Koldenhoff is now 3rd, Fevre 4th, Jasikonis is 5th, Van Horebeek in 6th, struggling. 7th is Seewer, and 8th is Monticelli. 9th is Tonus. 10th, that's a good recovery from Tonus. He was all the way down in 20th place. Lost 13 positions in a fall. And the Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha has got himself back up inside the top 10. Bogas is 10. 11 is Paulin. 12 Tixier. 13 DeWolf. 14 Jonas. Simpson has lost another position to Tano Leok now, so Leok up to 15, Simpson 16, Van Berkel has been passed by Misha Boy de Waal for 17. Tom Koch is now in 20th at the hands of Kevin Strybos, who just grabs that final point for now. Koldenhoff just taking a look across to see where Anstie is. The answer is about 6 seconds further up the track. Anstie's lap time a 2:04.9 and Gajser a 2:05.0.
Anstie's, we're watching the sector times here. Anstie is coming. They're coming up to the finish now, so we'll see what the gap is, but I don't think this is over yet. He's going to cut a couple of seconds off of this this lap alone.
Look at that 3rd sector. Sector 1 for Gajser, 24.3, 23.7 for Anstie. Sector 2, 37.4, 36.1 for Anstie. 34.1, 32.7. So all of a sudden, Gajser on a 2:06.3, 2:03. We're back down to 3 seconds, and Anstie is going back after the race win.
Well, Paul, as you know, all those long days at the track, long days in the gym, this is where it all pays off. You're trying to find motivation. These are the days when you do all of that work for, and you can see Anstie, he's got that energy in his riding. He wants this badly, and you can see him now. So it's on.
Wow. So Anstie, and there is the gap. There is the gap between 1st and 2nd. This was Seewer on Van Horebeek. So Seewer now up into 6th place. And once you're in that mode that Van Horebeek is in, it's it's a difficult hole to get out of, Jason Thomas.
Yeah, he's struggling. You can just tell he has no energy left, and it's pure survival now. you feel for him. I've been in that spot, and it's no fun.
Well, Anstie is yet to win a race in MXGP. And how impressive would it be for him to do it here after what happened in race 1? He's
closing the gap down now, and this is Gajser's worst nightmare here. He was hoping to cruise home here. He's still going to have the overall win, but for Anstie, this is all about pride, and now he's the prey and the predator.
Well, this is a great recovery. What you say, you talk about great fight backs, and we're talking about Fevre and Sewer and those guys, you know, when they get past and responding, or Jasikonis. But look at this from Anstie. He's just whittled down a 3-second gap in the space of less than 1,800 meters.
Yeah, Gajser looks like he is ready to throw in the towel. You see him, he's not even fighting back with Anstie.
Wow. So Anstie takes the lead. He went from 13 seconds leading to 6.3 seconds down, and he's retaken the lead. And this gap, this lap is going to be probably some 4 seconds quicker than Gajser, with the 2-lap board getting ready to go out. So talk about timing a run to perfection. He just needs to keep it up right now, and he's got his head down again. And man, if he had just stayed up in that first turn in race 1. Max Anstie.
What could have been, but like we said, he's doing everything he can.
5 seconds.
Yeah, 2:03. You could tell, you know, at this point, Gajser's thinking overall win and championship. So good for Anstie, good for Gajser. Everyone's getting what they want.
And we're getting what we want as well, because great fight back there from Anstie, showing great bounce back ability to get himself back there, 2 seconds clear of Gajser as we head into the penultimate lap. Koldenhoff on third, so the podium now will be Gajser, Fevre and Koldenhoff. Still no change there. 2 third-place finishes for Koldenhoff and standing construct KTM. So Tim Matthijs will be pretty happy. Potential win for Anstie, and on the podium for the first time for Glenn Koldenhoff, as he looks to go after 3rd place here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Romain Fevre in 4th place on the Monster Energy Yamaha. He is, what is he, 4 seconds down on Glenn, where he was. There's Glenn Koldenhoff on the jump ahead of him in white, so could do with another couple of points, but it's not going to alter the, well, it might actually, if he finds his way past, if he finds his way past Koldenhoff, Fevre wins the GP. Because it's 44-43 now, with Anstie going back in front, remember.
High drama. You wonder if Fevre knows that. You would hope that they could communicate that to him, but it's a pretty big deal to push for.
Sean Simpson there in 20th place, so he's obviously had some issues here as Fevre goes by in 4th place. What are the sector times between Koldenhoff and Fevre? The gap was 4 seconds, a 25.0, 24.6, 37.6 there. It's going to be about the same still. Depends what happens in the next 2 sectors here. 34.1 for Koldenhoff, 33.8. So it's coming down. Fevre can still win this one. He's got a lap to do it. He has to dig deep.
Yeah, at this point, his entire body is screaming at him. I know you've been there. I've been there. Everything hurts. You have no energy left, but the motivation to get a GP win is obviously driving you on, too.
And the state that he was in after race 1 to even fight back like this, Romain Fevre, well, it shows all about him and his character as well. 2 seconds a gap now, or thereabouts, a 2:08.1, a 2:07.3. This is all about the overall Grand Prix victory here. Romain Fevre needs this pass on Koldenhoff. Koldenhoff will stay on the podium in 3rd, but we will change at the top. And all because Anstie clawed his way back past Gajser just a couple of laps ago. But it looks like Fevre has spent. Koldenhoff responding, and responding well. So Gajser looks like he's going to be the one that stands on the top step of the podium. And Gajser and Jasikonis having problems. They'll be scratching their heads down there.
Both he and Jonas, same issues. That's rough.
Just like he was in neutral.
Yeah.
Had no drive. It sends you forward, but then bizarrely you go to start it up and your bike's in gear, and you can't start it with the clutch in properly. I don't know. You know, it's. Anyway, here's Koldenhoff. He's in 3rd place. Yeah, Fevre all the way back there. Had he have had a board signal, he might have put in a push on the final stages. But Anstie, what a performance from him. Down at turn 1 in race 1, does not compete in or complete any of the 16 laps. A decent start in race 2, chases down Gajser, takes the win, disappears by about a week, loses 2 weeks when he crashed, and comes back to win by a considerable margin here. The standing construct KTM rider on the verge of taking his first career win in MXGP in a moto.
Yeah, tough first moto, but he should be very proud of himself. Bounced back from a huge crash, and crashes again out of the lead, and then finds the speed to come back and still win. It's really impressive stuff.
So Max Anstie, number 99, standing construct KTM, doesn't get on the podium, but he wins here, and you can see the frustration because he knows that that would have been so much different. But it's Gajser who takes the win here with a second place finish in race number 2, and 44 points for him, 2 second places. And Koldenhoff is going to be on the podium, 3rd in the race, 3rd overall in the Grand Prix. So a fantastic finish here in Lommel. Febvre over the line in 4th, and Seewer will come through in 5th at the expense of Jacek. But the overall finishes here, Tim Gajser, Roman Febvre and Glenn Koldenhoff. Tim Gajser leaves Lommel with 9 Grand Prix victories during the season then, by winning here at a place he's never won at before.
First ever, yeah, good for him.
From that point of view, that is pretty impressive for the Honda rider. We'll grab a word with him in just a few moments, of course. But riders still coming over the line. Anstie, your winner in the race. Gajser 2nd, Koldenhoff 3rd, Febvre 4th, Seewer 5th, Jacek 6th. Van Horebeek 7th, Monticelli 8th, Bogers and Tonus should round out the top 10. We'll do that. And Tonus down underneath the bike, picks himself up, and he looks weary as well. The heat, the conditions really taking their toll. He charged from outside. He was up in 7th. He crashed. He went down to 20th place, lost 13 positions, got himself back up in the mix.
Just before the finish.
He is going to be, and that's just before pit lane as well. And a very, very dejected Arno Tonus cruises back to the line. Here's Tim Gajser, your overall winner.
Tim Gajser, congratulations. Another overall victory, your first overall here at Lommel. 2 smart races. You could tell you're riding smart. One hand firmly on that championship title now.
Shit, I didn't expect that from Lommel. I mean, like, I was expecting a good ride. Top 5 should be good, but like, to win here, it means something special. So it's like a really special victory. I'm really happy, and huge thanks to everyone. You know, like, we've been working in sand this winter a lot, and now it's paying off. So I'm really happy.
Apologies for the language there.
Tim Gajser, Team Honda, Team HRC. That's the first Premier Class win for Honda around this circuit in 25. Well, not in 25 attempts, but we've had 23 winners, 24 with MX2 earlier on. But Bas Verhoeven of the Netherlands won in MX3 in 2005. But Tim Gajser, the first Honda to win in the Premier Class since we came here in 1990.
That's an incredible stat. Yeah, to see HRC find success here, I'm sure there are a lot of people relieved, let's say.
So Anstie wins the race, Gajser 2nd. In fact, we'll do this in just a couple of moments' time. Max Anstie wins MXGP Race 2. Tim Gajser 2nd, Koldenhoff 3rd, Febvre 4th, Seewer 5th, Jacek, Van Horebeek, Monticelli, Bogers and Paulin, and then Jonas, De Wolf, Tixier. Tonus fell on the final lap to 14th. Leok 15, De Waal 16, Tom Cock, Lars van Berkel, Kevin Strybos and Sean Simpson. And the overall, Tim Gajser on the podium for the 9th time on the top step this weekend. And Febvre 2nd, Koldenhoff 3rd, and that's the first Premier Class win for Team Honda at Lommel since we've been coming here since 1990. Good to see Glenn Koldenhoff on the box for the first time this year as well on the standing construct KTM. It looked like Roman Febvre was going to put in a charge in the last lap, but he was spent, couldn't do anything about it. He'll have to settle for 2nd. And wow, the gap at the top. Looks like Imola is where it's going to happen. Gajser just needs to stay smart and healthy and stay out of trouble between now and then in 2 weeks' time. But see, we're now losing distance. He was already 177 points down coming in this weekend. Honda on top in the manufacturer's chase as well. It's been KTM the last couple of years, last few years, but Honda are bouncing back.
Yeah. Fair bet to assume we'll have some Slovenians in Imola.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too far for him as well, over the border. But Gajser grabs the foxhole shot here. That's 7 now for the Slovenian. Black plate for the man in the black shirt. Just one behind Cairoli. As always, the final race today, MXGP Race 2. The fans will converge on the podium. They're making their way slowly down there, though it could have been so much different if Van Horebeek had made the box. But he was weary as well in the latter stages of the race. But what a fantastic day. And great action here, particularly in that second race. And commiserations to Max Anstie. You know, great win in race 2, but not able to do anything about it in race 1. But Glenn Coldenhoff appreciates his position on the podium, takes his time, and the standing construct KTM rider, long overdue. Good to see you up there, my friend. Romain Febvre, second overall. These guys know that they've been through a war and back.
Yeah, they're going to need that weekend off next weekend to just to recover after such a rough day.
So the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, Romain Febvre, on the second step of the podium. But Tim Gajser, his 8th Grand Prix, his 9th Grand Prix victory of the season. He was a winner in Trentino. He won 7 in a row. Portugal, France, Russia, Latvia, Germany, Indonesia, 2 of them in Indonesia. And he wins here in Belgium for the first time. Giacomo Garibaldi up on the podium as well. Team owner for Team HRC. Glenn Coldenhoff takes his 3rd place trophy from the Lommel Sports Alderman. Thank you, sir. Not even going to attempt that one. Bert Lambrecht, the Limburg province deputy, handing the 2nd place trophy to Romain Febvre, Monster Energy Yamaha. And the winner's trophy to Tim Gajser, Team HRC, the first win for Honda around here in the Premier class. Bob Nice, the Mayor of Lommel. Thank you, sir, once again for inviting us to your difficult and brutal racetrack that throws up so many exciting surprises. And Giacomo Garibaldi. Martin de Graaf handing him the winner's trophy. They're getting quite a collection, these guys now.
Yeah, it's been a great year for HRC.
And thanks to Martin de Graaf there as well. But the red plate, well, pretty soon it's going to be turned to gold. And Tim Gajser is getting closer to a 2nd MXGP title, his 3rd career World Championship. But your podium here this weekend at Belgium in Lommel. Tim Gajser, Romain Febvre and Glenn Coldenhoff. For Tim Gajser and his Slovenian fans, Honda winning manufacturer this weekend, National Anthem of Japan. Tim Gajser, Romain Febvre and Glenn Coldenhoff, they will enjoy their time on the podium here. And of course, we will talk to them just after these best moments. So MXGP race 2 threw up 1 or 2 surprises, Jason Thomas.
Yeah, unbelievable ride. What a brutal track. And it's one of those tracks where you can absolutely see the effort play out as the moto goes on.
1 or 2 unfortunate errors there and machine problems, but we'll talk to the winners in just a moment.
Tim Gajser, congratulations, another overall performance. 2 safe races. You lost the lead a couple of times in that second race, but it really doesn't matter because you're thinking of the bigger picture and that gold plate is right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I was having fun, actually. It's weird to say that in sand for me, but like I was enjoying out there. Had a good start, both motos. Second one even better, whole shot and then lead from beginning. But Max was really fast, so I kind of like leave him to pass me because we had a nice, comfortable lead. And then he make a mistake, and then he got me again, and then I leave him again. And because I know they write me that if I stay second, I win the overall. So I'm really, really happy. Huge thanks to all the team, all the fans, and everybody around me. Thank you very much, guys.
Congratulations, Tim. Second overall today, we have Roman Febvre. Roman, race win, took a lot out of you, but well recovered in that second race. You put in a hard charge. It did look like you were going to put in a charge towards the end there, but I guess you just ran out of energy.
Yes, yeah, it was really tough this weekend. The first moto, yeah, was much easier up the front, and then I had a little bit of stress for sure to lose the lead, but I managed to make a gap, and then second race I just don't get the start. I don't know how much I was, but I was around 15, and then came to the pack like the first 2 laps really good, and then after like get stuck by some good rider also. So yeah, break my rhythm a little bit, but end up 4. Second overall, yeah, it's I was close to the victory, but didn't happen. So next time.
Congratulations, Roman. Third overall today, we have Glenn Koldenoff. Glenn, finally, I get to speak to you on the podium. This is long overdue. One of the hardest GPs, 2 third-place finishes, a really solid weekend for you.
Yeah, it's great, you know. 2 weeks ago, I still didn't feel good in the sand, but the team has done an amazing job and helping me out with such a great bike. And I will definitely give it up to those guys because, yeah, they worked their asses off. So I'm really happy to be back up here, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it.
Well deserved. Thanks, Glenn.
Jason Thomas, Fly Racing, Glenn Koldenoff. Great to see him back on a podium. And hopefully all of his injury worries are behind him now.
Yeah, rounding back into form to just to punish me at Assen here in a month's time for Motocross the Nations again.
But overall, your thoughts on the Grand Prix this weekend?
Well, I've always heard great things about this GP, and I can only tell you that it's much more impressive and much more brutal in person. This is absolutely the most difficult motocross race on the planet.
Roman Febvre came close, but Tim Gajser, the overall winner, didn't win a race, but he didn't need to.
No, and I think he'll take it. To get your first win, to get Honda's first win, yeah, however you can get that, you'll take it.
Well, Tim Gajser then leaves Lommel with a massive points lead now. It looks likely that he's going to wrap it up, possibly in the first race in Imola. That always looked like the case anyway, but still, there are 4 races left to go. We will be back in Italy, Imola, in a couple of weeks' time. Then we go to Sweden, Uddevalla, then Turkey and China back-to-back to round out the series. But can he wrap it up before he even goes over there, Tim Gajser? Well, the fans have seen a great Grand Prix. We've seen a fantastic one as well. Jason Thomas, thanks for joining us here from Fly Racing. And the next time we do this will be in Italy, Imola. And that'll be round 15 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks to Jason. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now. And for those who are still with us online on MXGPTV.com, a great Grand Prix, fantastic, difficult for others, but it's just one of those places that you either do well at or you don't. But doing it all again in 2 weeks' time at the MXGP of Italy in Imola. I'll be there. Hope you can join us live, as always, for more FIM Motocross World Championship action. Bye for now.